Hey guys, so I decided to make a video about transferring my pension from my employer pension into my Vanguard SIPP, as I have had many questions over the 2.5 years I've been doing this channel about why I've decided to do that, how I've done it. So I thought I should do a standalone video just on this topic to just clarify to anybody who's curious why I've done it and what I'm doing and how I do it. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you guys who are considering to do something similar or have never even considered it but maybe want to start looking into it. I think because we're talking about pensions and shifting around money, I think it's very important for me to put this disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor. So everything that I talk about on this channel is just based on my personal research, my personal experiences, and basically what I decide to do with my money. So if this is something you're considering doing, don't take my word for it. Do your own research, contact a financial advisor. Don't just say, well, I saw some girl on YouTube do it. That's never a good way to live life anyway, but I thought I should put that out there just to cover my back. So a bit about my pension journey so far. So I only started contributing to my pension when I was 25 years old. So I was a bit of a late bloomer to the pension game, I guess you could say, but that's to do with the fact that I was in higher education. So I done my degree, my 4 years university degree at the University of South Florida, so in Florida, and then I done a year of working in Florida, and then I done 2 years of a master's degree in Paris, and then I moved back to the UK. So I've had a bit of a journey. So I didn't get my first proper, I would say my big girl job in the UK. I didn't have that until I was 25 years old. So that's when I started contributing. So it's been 5 years since then. And I decided to go back to my pay slips, which is really interesting. I've never gone back to the very beginning. I wanted to see what I started with in terms of my contributions and where I'm at today. So when I first started, I was contributing, so myself and my employer's contribution came to a total of £266 per month. So every month that's what would go into my pension, and I looked at my more recent pay slips to see what my pension contributions are now. So now with mine and my employer's pension contribution, it's £1,117 per month that is going away into my pension. This is over a 5-year time span, and to me what this really highlighted is the power of working on getting your income up as much as possible. That is the best way to secure yourself a pretty strong solid financial future. Budgeting is fantastic. Cutting down unnecessary or frivolous spending is also great, a good way to live, but there's only so much that you can cut out of a budget, but you can continually work to increase your income. So yeah, that's something that I will continue to work on throughout the years to get my income up a bit more so that my pension contributions also continue to increase. So I first decided to transfer my pension from my employer pension to my Vanguard SIPP back in early 2021. So at that point I had a Vanguard ISA open already, and I liked the funds that were available on Vanguard, I liked the platform, I like their history, and I definitely like their low costs, their low fees. So these were the things that really attracted me to Vanguard. And also, to be frank, it's just what I heard about a lot in the financial independence community. It was always Vanguard, Vanguard, Vanguard. And even though this is probably more American based and we have different platforms here in the UK like Hargreaves and Lansdowne, for instance, which is another popular platform, the fees that I saw on Hargreaves and Lansdowne just tipped me over the edge to stick with Vanguard in the end. So after I decided to open up a SIPP with them, so that's a personal pension with Vanguard, I really needed to make sure that I'd done my research as to what this would all look like and if this would impact any way my contributions from my employer into my pension. So I contacted my HR at my company to tell them what I planned to do and that I wanted to move my pension funds from my employer pension into my Vanguard SIPP, and what would this look like? Can I do it? Is it allowed? If there was any penalty, I was not interested, so I needed to figure that out. And how do I do it? What do I do, etc. And so my HR told me that it is allowed. They also told me that what will continue to happen in order to get my employee contribution is every single month my pension contribution plus my employer contribution would still go into that employer pension, and then when I'm ready I would do the pension transfer myself. So I was like, okay, well, I can do this, I'm not going to be penalised, now I know. They told me that I needed to contact the my pension, so Aon, and speak to them more just to clarify how it would all work. So I did, and basically I needed to go through Vanguard and request a transfer through Vanguard, and then Vanguard would get in touch with them and get the funds moved over. I was also told though that I needed to keep a minimum of £1,000 in that pension at all times in order to keep the account open. So whenever I did do the transfer, I needed to make sure that I transferred everything but £1,000, and then that would be fine. So by taking this approach, one really good thing is that the tax relief that you receive on pension, that was already sorted because it would already be done in my employer pension. So anything I transferred over to Vanguard, all that would already be done. I wouldn't need to do any self-assessment. I don't have to contact HMRC. It's already sorted, and that just makes my life easier. So I was quite happy that that would be the approach. And also I get salary sacrifice through my employer, so I didn't want to jeopardize that as well. So that's not being jeopardized. So all in all, I think this was a good way to handle all of this. So the first transfer I made was back in March 2021 of £15,083.28. And at that point, that pension transfer of £15,000 was about 3.5-ish years of me contributing to my pension. Then, as you can see, in July, I tried to make another transfer. So in my head, I thought I could just do transfers throughout the year. However, I then found out that I couldn't. You can only do one transfer a year. So that transfer got cancelled from Vanguard because I wasn't allowed to do it. So then the next transfer I made was in April of 2022, which was for £9,824.42. And that was basically a year's worth of contributions minus £1,000 that I had to leave in my employer pension. And then the most recent transfer that I triggered was for £13,000. So I done that on the 22nd of February. It still hasn't gone through. Last time I done a pension transfer, it took about 8 weeks for it to process, so it may take 8 weeks again. Hopefully that will hit soon, and I will show you in a Vanguard portfolio update how that looks within my pension. So now let's go through what the actual process of triggering this pension transfer looked like. So I screen recorded it for you, and I will do a bit of a voiceover just to show you how easy it is if this is something that you're interested in and you've been advised to do or whatever else, and how quickly it's done. It was less than 10 minutes. So once you've opened your SIPP and you've gone to my pension page, you'd scroll down to the bottom to the manage your pension section and click transfer to Vanguard. And then on the first page, you've got information that I think is good to read, like things to know, especially when it's your first time. And then they list off some things that you'll need, such as the name and address of your existing provider, your account number with your employer pension, the pension value, and these can be probably found on your pension statement. So once you click next, then they'll start asking you some questions before you transfer a pension. So the first question would be, are you transferring any overseas pension? So yes or no. Are you transferring any final salary pension schemes or pensions that contain guaranteed annuity rates? So if you don't know what that is, then they've got handy descriptions to help you with that. Then you've got, are you transferring any pensions in cap drawdown? Again, some descriptions to help you with that. Followed by, are you transferring any pensions you took benefits from before 6th of April 2006? So of course this will just depend on your personal circumstances. So here you put in the name of your existing pension provider, and then you would need your pension account number or policy number to put there. I didn't show you that part, I've blocked it, cut it out of the video obviously, but then what you'll see after that is some questions about if you've taken any benefits, if you want to do a full or partial transfer, and if it's partial, what the specific amount is. So here you can see I've put £13,000 as discussed earlier, and then you move on to selecting your investments. So I already have set this up in Vanguard, so I've put my chosen retirement age of 55. So that would be I'd be 55 in 2047. So it has a target retirement fund for me of 2050. So this is what I currently have in my pension already. So I've basically stuck with this target retirement fund, but you can also select your own funds. So all the other Vanguard funds you can also use for your pension if you choose. And then on the last page, you'll see some pension information, and then you will literally need to sign, wait for it to go through, and then literally that is it. It tells you what happens next. That most transfers take up to 10 weeks, and you can also add your beneficiary, which I think is a really important step to make. So if you haven't done that before, I would highly advise this. So thanks for joining and watching and listening and supporting as always, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video real soon.